Welcome everybody, my name's Dave and this is the Photoshop. This is where lovely folks from all over the internet come into my shop with wild stories from their past or even wilder dreams that they might have had, and I attempt to turn them into lovely imagery with Photoshop. Images that will perfectly represent their crazy adventures and that they can treasure forever or immediately throw in the bin, whatever they prefer. I'll also be gifting each of my Photoshop customers with a unique song that goes along with each one of their pieces. I really do spoil people here at the Photoshop. But I'll be doing that part with the help of my good friend, Andrew Lee. But I'll talk about him more later on. Okay, let's get straight to it and welcome my first customer into the Photoshop and see what story they have to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mr. Ian Murphy. Right, Ian, welcome to my Photoshop. So you have an interesting story about being on TV and having an experience. So walk us through.
Sure. Well, I am the first person to lose £1 million live on TV, live on ITV.
Oh.
The programme is called Red or Black.
Yeah.
It was back in 2012, so nearly 10 years ago, and it was a show fronted by Ant and Dec. Still can't tell them apart, I'll be honest with you. And they are the tiniest people in the world. I know I'm 6'4",
yeah,
but they are really tiny as well, but lovely, lovely people. It was a Simon Cowell production, so it had all the hallmarks of kind of being a big blockbuster ITV extravaganza, and it came out of an idea of a chap who'd saved up all his life to have a big pot to go to Vegas and just put it on once in a lifetime red or black gamble of a 50-50 chance. That was the premise of the show. And they invited us all to Wembley Arena. So over 2 days, they shot the first set of scenes, which was whittling that 1,000 people down to, again, a red or black decision, using massive games and stars and all that type of thing to get us to a certain amount of people, a certain number, where you then go to another location to film the next bit. But again, they kind of have big elaborate games where the outcome's red or black. You choose red or black. And one of them was stacking tires with big tractors. Another one was blowing up explosive things or supposedly explosive things along the quarry wall. And then there was the final bit to get to the final was choosing a box, and the box had a key to what were brand new Saabs at the time. And if you open the Saab, you didn't get to keep the Saab, unfortunately. But if you open the Saab, you then got to the final shot. And I'm thinking to myself, as a Scouser, surely I don't need a key to open this Saab. Surely without any of that nonsense, right? It gave me 15 minutes of fame, I suppose, but didn't give me £1 million. I even thought afterwards Simon Cowell could have given me a bit of a backhand and $250,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah, a little consolation prize, yeah.
Yeah, tight bastard didn't.
So the last thing you have to do, is it literally just press a button? Or do you...
Yeah, it's pressing a button, and actually, as I think back at it, and they do try and find hard luck stories in your past as well. So they do ask that type of stuff. So that is a little bit manufactured. And I really didn't have any kind of interesting story per se. I was a bit sanguine about it afterwards. And I made no secret that if I got to the end, I'd choose red as the colour, right? I made no secret of that. I actually don't mind it if I've lost because it's an entertainment show, or if that's just chance and I've lost. I really don't mind that. I would have minded if I'd have gone all the way through, I'm going red, and then gone black on the night and it came up red,
Yeah, that's true. All right, I am going to try and replicate that moment.
Brilliant. Plenty of tears. Little tiny Geordie people.
Okay, now I need to recreate the moment Ian lost £1 million. I feel for you, big man. Let's do this.
And me and a deck make three. It could have been a memory, but the game up shot sitting next to me. I'll play your games box and I got no weight. Pick a box with a key in the game. 50-50 is the name of the game. Heads and tails, it's all the same. Pull the trigger left or right. Let the beast decide as you roll the dice. 50-50 is the name of the game. Heads and tails, it's all the same. Pull the trigger left or right. As the curtains fall, watch me lose it all on black. Watch me lose it all on black. 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 Red. 50-50 is the name of the game. Heads and tails, it's all the same. Pull the trigger left or right. Let the face decide as you roll the dice. 50-50 is the name of the game. Heads and tails, it's all the same. Pull the trigger left or right. As the curtains falls, watch me lose it all on black.
There you go, Ian. I hope that relieves some of the sting left from the wee Geordie fellas. All right, who's next? Tom Balmont. Tom has a dream he'd like to share with us. So let's see what that is. Tom, welcome to the photo
Hello.
shop.
It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, thanks very much, man. So you have a dream, maybe not as profound as when that sentence has been said in the past. Go on, tell me about your dream, and we're gonna create it for you.
Okay, so my dream, this was a literal dream that I had. So in the dream, I was Will Smith, right?
Makes sense.
The rapper and actor, and I was in my my daughter's room, and I was plastering, and I was loving the plastering.
Yeah.
I was like, you know when you just enjoy something in your very soul, your very core, your very being. The plastering, I was loving it. I was fixing up this wall. I was just so happy. And then my wife and the kids came in, and they were like, "Dad, can we go for ice cream?" And I hated them. I just hated them because it meant that I wouldn't be able to carry on plastering. And then we went for ice cream, and we were sat in like this ice cream parlor, and they were all having it. And all I could think of was how much I hated them and how much I wanted to be doing the plastering.
And is that the end? Do you go back to plastering in the end?
No, I didn't. I can't fully describe just how much I was enjoying this plastering.
Yeah.
And then how much I was hating spending time with my family eating these ice creams. That's what the dream was in its entirety.
So I need to encapsulate that rage somehow in this image. You need to be in a really beautiful scene, but you're just hating everything about it as Will Smith. I'm going to give this a shot, and then I will catch up with you soon and show you what I've done.
I look forward to it.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I went from joy to seek and destroy. Getting jiggy with a spatula, big Willie style. My walls looking pretty, putty all around, no better party to be found. Damn, it feels like summertime. In walks in my lady with her Satan spawn. They want to get in my way, take me away, to go for ice cream, not for ice cream, oh no. They get their way, stupid little mistakes. They take me away to their icy, creamy hell. Smiles on their faces are making me sick. When no one's watching, I could end this quick. A few drops of poison or a slash of a knife, I can make it back home, probably short of a wife. Life's always easy when you DIY. Too bad the guys decided I should sit here and die. The whole world's spinning and my mind becomes clear to why I'm stuck here, living in this nightmare of human despair.
Okay, our final Photoshop customer of the day has just pulled up, and it's this guy, Stuart DeVille. You might want to strap in for this one. It's about to get weird. So you have a story you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, I do have a story. I'm quite old now, but many, many moons ago, I had a friend who had a birthday party that happened in Amsterdam. So we all took a flight out to Amsterdam. Some of you might know that crazy things happen in Amsterdam. I think there was about 12 or more of us all went over, stayed in one of those nice little hostels. On one of the days, early on, we went into one of these cafes that you can go into, and there's a little shop at the back, and everyone's buying their wares. And one of the guys bought a packet of mushrooms. Quite typically, the guy behind the counter said to him, "Be wary of these mushrooms. They're quite potent, they're quite strong. So take one, wait half an hour, see how you feel, and then maybe take a half and see how you feel." And it kind of shook him a little bit. 2 days later, he was leaving early. He said to everyone, "I'm too scared to do the mushrooms. I've left them in the fridge. If anyone wants to do them, feel free." And I was like, I wonder. So that morning, we went down to yet another cafe, and there was a nice little table at the back, and we were all sitting there. My friends were all smoking, and I decided that that's the point. I'm going to try out these mushrooms, completely neglecting to remember the warning that had come beforehand. With a packet of M&Ms, I was sitting there going, mushroom, M&M, mushroom, M&M, mushroom, M&M. I'm not sure how long into us all sitting there talking. Apparently, while I was talking to everyone and having, in high spirits like I am now, perfectly normal. Imagine if right now tears just started pouring down my face. You'd probably say something.
Yeah.
My friend said nothing. And then we left. And as we were walking down their lovely cobbled high street, I guess, I started to notice that the people coming towards me, their neck, I should say, became giraffe-like, and their head rose off and kind of came at me. So as I was walking, all of these faces were coming at me. I didn't panic. I just kind of thought, that's weird, and carried on going. So,
are you still leaking at this point, or was that just
as far as I'm aware, the crying stopped just before we left. So everyone was like, yeah, sure, he's fine. Yeah. Little did I know, I'm just at the entrance to the rabbit hole. So then we end up walking back to our hostel. It just so happens that me and my best friend, we were sitting on the two sofa chairs. I looked at my friend, and as he was talking to me, his face kept having these weird flickers. His face would jump from being a smile to being like a frown, and his face kind of had this glitchiness between. So I was just looking at him being like, that is also a little bit weird. And then I turned to look at my hand. I noticed that my hand turned into an elbow, and from that elbow grew my new arm. And that kind of went round in a little weird pattern like this for a while. And I thought that was weird. But the whole time that from beginning to here, I was still just wow, I wasn't none of it was freaking me out. And then all I could see, and the only way I can explain this is, imagine everything is black, and in the center of this blackness is a beam of light that is every color on through the spectrum, as you would see it kind of breaking through the spectrum, I guess.
Yeah.
In my head, I thought, oh man, I just died. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
I'm on this other plane of existence. I'm now just energy, but I can obviously still hear the other frequency of real life.
Yeah.
My friend was like, oh, hey, you're back. Good to see you. And in my head, I thought, oh, so now that I'm back in the life before life. So, and then I looked around and I decided that we were all, the group that was left, I think there's like 8 of us. I was like, we're the 8 creators of the universe. And we can choose when we want to go and have a life. And then if we do something stupid, like do too many drugs, we die and we come back here. And then I had this urge to go to the toilet. I was like, oh man, I need to go to the toilet. And my friend went, no, you can't do that. And instantly in my head, I'm still having this wonderful journey and deciding things for myself. I was like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Because if I go to the toilet and I flush the toilet, then I start a new life.
Yeah.
If that all makes sense.
Yeah, it does a bit. So I need to recreate this visually.
Yeah, good luck.
I need, long arms, glitchy face, multiple forearms, spectrum of light, afterlife, creation of new life. Okay. Did you just hear me say okay? Like any of what I just heard was okay or normal in any way, shape or form? What am I gonna do with this? All right, this is our last customer of the day. I need to sort him out. So, let's go.
I took a journey to foreign lands. Life's adventure was calling me. Off in the distance, a store beckoned me. In a dusty back room, a shaman welcomed me. He handed me a bag of mushrooms and told me to enjoy sparingly. I said, no, I'm a man of integrity. I'm gonna down it all with a handful of dignity. And all alone in this fantasy, I wipe my tears of madness with my elbow hand high bread. And I've seen all the faces changing. Happy, sad, giraffe man bad. Oh, I die at the center of the universe. I would die. But if I do, will it end? Will I end up flushing it all away?
I told you it got weird. Remember kids, drugs are bad. But thank you for joining me on the first episode of The Photoshop. If you have an interesting story to tell or a weird ass dream you want to share and let me make an image out of it, then I've left a link in the description below where you can fill in a form and get involved in the next episode. So, do that. A massive thank you to Ian, Tom and Stuart for jumping straight in and getting involved on this one, guys. It was a hell of a lot of fun, for me at least. But I've got a special thank you to this man who provided the lyrics and vocal loveliness for each one of those songs. I've added some links below to some of Andrew's other music. The guy is just such a talented little bugger. The kind that makes you want to throw up in your own shoes, one of those sort of people. So if you like what you did on here, make sure to go check him out. He's a legend. Okay, we are done. So until we meet again, I love you. Bye.